Yo, what's up everybody? Young Flux back for another beat making video on the SBO channel. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these, but I've been cooking up some pretty sick beats lately, so I wanted to record some of them. Today we're going to be working on like a brakence, aries, kind of like hyperpop or like anti-pop type beat. We're basically going to be using like a super chill kind of lo-fi guitar melody, and then we're going to layer that with some like super hard-hitting distorted bass. So I'm going to show you guys how you can easily make one of these type of beats using a sample from just like Splice or even like Looperman if you want. So yeah, let's get going. Alright, so I got Splice open up here, and we're just going to look for indie guitar samples. So we're just literally going to search indie guitar. I'm going to look up something in the minor key, and we're just going to listen through these and find something we like here. Alright, so this is the one we're going to be using, so I'm just going to drag that on over into FL Studio here. I'm going to set it to 97 BPM. So I'm going to cut it right there, but I'm going to leave that one like that, so we have a tail end over here for the outro. Okay, so then we're going to layer the melody first. We're just going to go 4 bars like that. Okay, and then what I like to do is we're going to make a copy of the melody. We're going to make it unique. We're going to route it to track 2, or this one's going to go to track 1, and we're going to crank the pitch all the way up. And we're going to have that one come in right there. Okay, so you'll see here we have the guitar melody kind of comes into the second higher guitar melody, kind of like a counter melody for the higher one here. So usually brakence would use kind of more of like I said, like a indie guitar, like plucking type guitar, but for this one, this is maybe more like aries style, kind of like a really like reverbed, atmospheric type guitar. So let's work with this. So now we're going to start dragging some of our drums in here, and I'm going to tell you guys a bit about the sounds that we're going to be using. So for a kick, we want basically like a really punchy, hard-hitting kick, but we don't want the kick too distorted because we're going to put a bunch of distortion and stuff on our 808s, and we don't want them to like clash too much. So let's go through and I'll choose a good one here. So I like something like this one. Now we're going to find a snare. And for the snare, we want almost more of a perk, a really weird sound. Honestly, try to find almost as weird of a snare or perk sound as you can find. I really like this one here. This is from the 100 Gex sound kit. And what we're going to do is we're going to layer the kick and the snare alternating, oh my god, just like this. Okay. Simple enough. Now we're going to add hi-hats. So for the hi-hats, we want to add 2 hi-hat patterns. We're going to add one. That's just kind of like the normal hi-hat sound. We're going to fill each 2 steps all the way across. Then we're going to pick another hi-hat sound, and for this one we want, again, one that's way different. So choose something that's either like really low or high or like really weird. Something like this. And for this one we're going to fill each 4 steps. We're going to right-click, graph editor, and we're going to pan this from left to right all the way across. Alright, now we got to adjust the volume of our hats a bit here, so we're going to turn our main hi-hat pattern down to like 75% or so, 60%, and the secondary hi-hat pattern down to like 30. Okay, we're going to drop this pattern into our playlist and take a listen. Alright, so that's pretty good what we got going there so far. We just need to add some more kicks. So let's add more of a kick pattern here. Okay, so we're going to save this project and just make sure that we don't lose it, because I actually lost my whole hard drive about a week ago, and I lost any beats and songs that I had in the progress that hadn't been published yet, so That fucking sucks. Alright, so next we're going to add another snare sound. For this one we can add more of like a normal snare that we're just going to stick in the background. We glitched. Okay, so now we're going to add an open hat. I really like these Nick Mira ones for these brakence type beats. They make the transition really nice into the drop, so we'll stick a couple of those in there. So for 808s, I'm going to be using a really distorted 808 from the 100 Gex sound kit. So for these brakence type beats, we want something really distorted, but we want more of like a sub bass. We don't want something really high like this. We want something more of like down lower like this. So we're going to choose this one here. We're going to copy the kick pattern and paste it onto the 808s. We're going to route our 808s to channel 8. We're going to right click, open an audio editor, detect pitch regions. We're going to see it's on D sharp, so we're going to exit this, come back in, D sharp, right there, and we're going to open it in piano roll. We're going to drag out all of our 808 notes. We're going to go back in here and change the envelope, cut self, turn down the attack all the way, hold up, decay, sustain, and release all the way down. We're going to save our project. Alright. And now, for the 808s, we're basically going to take all these places where it hits doubles and triples and just drag them out. Like so. And now we're just going to take a listen and feel where there's like too much, because with these brakence 808s we want it to hit like really hard, then like kind of a silent gap, then hit in really hard again, and kind of like a gap. So let's see. Alright, so that's pretty good for our 808 patterns here. We're even going to add a couple more effects here to make it stand out just a bit more. We're going to add an EQ and boost the bass and the subs just a bit. Obviously don't want to go too overboard with this, but we're just trying to get a couple more of these sub frequencies to stick out. Alright, and I'm going to show you another little trick. We're going to right click here, we're going to go graph editor, and we're actually going to pan our 808s really slightly. Only in one spot where it goes doo 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 doo. Because one of the things we're trying to do here with these anti-pop and kind of like hyper-pop beats is we're basically trying to like flip the norm of like, okay, this is the shit that you normally don't do, so we're gonna fucking do it. Obviously, like, there's some musical shit that like sounds good and doesn't sound good. Like, we're obviously not purposely putting out of tune 808s, but like we're basically taking what is pop music and what is the standard and being like, yo, fuck that, let's basically take this and run it through like a fucking garbage compactor and make it crazy. I don't know, that's the way I look at it, at least what I've been working on with my beats. So there we got our 808 pattern, and the next trick here is basically in these gaps where the 808s don't hit, we don't want anything until the snare comes back in. I want to take out all the hats up until the 808s hit in right there like this. Like this. Okay, so find where your snares and your perks are, and after that, cut out until your kick and 808 hits in the next time. Like this. Okay, now for our hi-hats, we're going to do a bit of a quick mix on these hi-hats. We're actually going to send them both to the same channel, so I'll do channel 5. We're going to open up channel 5, parametric EQ, we're going to boost the high frequencies a tad just at the very end. We're going to add some reverb, and we're going to put it on the venue preset, and I'm going to turn it down to like 25%. Then we're going to add a fruity flanger, and same thing, we're going to turn that down to like, whatever that is, like 33%. Turn the volume down to about there. I just added a soft clipper to our 808s to kind of give it some boost without getting too crazy. Like that. Okay, now we gotta work on our melody a little bit, so we're gonna parametric EQ. We're gonna cut out some of the lows here at around 180. I want a bit more mellow than that. Like so. We're gonna boost the highs a tad again. Okay, we're gonna add a fruity reverb. Compressor. We're going to add a fruity love filter, but we're going to use this as an automation clip later on, so just turn that all the way down for now. And then one more, we're going to add a gross beat. And on the gross beat here, we are going to find half-bit gate, like this, but we're going to turn the volume way down. Okay, we're going to save, and let's start laying this out a bit. So we're going to right-click, split by channel, delete everything, and drag it back in here. And then last step for this hook is, remember where we cut out those hi-hats? Okay, well, we're going to actually cut out the entire melody in the exact same spots. So, boom, boom. And we're just going to do that to the melody the first time we play it through the hook and not the second time. Alright, so the way I have this structured is we've got intro, we've got a hook, we've got a verse, a little bridge or a pre-chorus here, another hook, outro, then it's done. We only got room for one verse, one bridge in here. Alright, so the next step is on all these drops where it hits off, we're going to need to add like an impact sound. So we're going to find one here. I'm going to be using this one here. And we're going to add that impact to everywhere where the beat cuts out and then drops back in. Alright, so then leading up to each one of these impacts, we're going to be adding a riser sound. Just like a reverse open hat usually works good, or a reverse crash. And we're going to add our beat tag in with the transitions there as well. What I usually do is use like a riser, my beat tag, and a crash to make sort of a complete transition. Like that, and then we're going to drag this transition to where the next hook comes in as well, like so. Save again. Then the last step for these transitions is we're gonna go back to our fruity love filter that we created here, make sure the volume's all the way down, create an automation clip. Okay, so this love filter we're gonna put as like a transition to all of these drops. So we're gonna start the love filter all the way up, we're gonna have it come to about half, drop down, then every time the beat drops like this, we're going to create a little automation like that. Just like a little fucking ski jump. Like so. And what I usually do is do it for the hook like that, and then just cut it. And then we're going to cut it again at the beginning of the hook. And we're just going to copy and paste this entire automation and put it over top of our second hook at the end. Should line up perfect right there. And then we just need to do the verse here. Alright guys, so once we got the beat laid out and everything, that's pretty much it. Alright, so I know like the melody and everything here turned out quite a bit darker than like most of Brakence's stuff, but I basically just wanted to show you guys sort of how like the drums and the 808s and stuff will be laid out, and how we do like all the gaps in like the automations and everything to create sort of that like anti-pop, like glitchy effect in the song. So thanks so much for watching guys. This beat will be available on my Young Flux YouTube channel and as well as my beat store. Please remember to like and subscribe to the video. I'll be doing another one of these again soon. Thanks so much. Have a good rest of the day and peace.